Welcome back to the show, the second hour. It is, and our sign language interpreter will be Clement Muli. And we come back right here in studio. And just as was trying to make a point that it's the executive's fault, we still cannot agree as far as that is concerned. But in all honesty, if it is a question of disbursing the funds to the counties, even as the mediation team is expected to meet today, Hilda, how come some counties do not have a cash problem, others do? How come it was only 17 counties that initiated the strike and the rest were functioning?
Okay.
I don't want to say normally, but quote unquote, wako sawa-ish.
Well, some counties, yes, they were operating okay with the funds probably they had.
The little they had.
And again, if you remember, let me even remind my friend here just as saying, the president saying that if you have not shown any development in your county, why do you want more money?
That's not the responsibility of
the
president.
Just a minute.
Just wait a minute.
Just
hold. So the counties that have no development and they still want more money. There are counties that were still developing simply because probably they still need to show what it is that they...
In fact, some have an equalization fund.
Yes.
Some that is one of the very lame arguments.
No, so it's not lame. It is not lame, by the way.
On this. The provision actually is to implement and to protect the Constitution. And the moment you...
So did governors.
Exactly. And the Constitution has provisions. Even when you're discussing about the revenue bill, there has a provision that it takes. So the moment that sequence is violated, the chief executive, the commander-in-chief, has the right to say, you know what, let's review this as it goes. This one will even lend us. These are the things.
And he's commander-in-chief of the defense forces.
Exactly.
Not the council of governors.
I've just
just carry on. Let me
address the point of the revenue allocation. It is very lame excuse to oversight and tell county governments on how to spend their allocation. Their allocation and their expenditures is different from the constitutional provision on what they must be given. Give them what is rightfully theirs. Then ask them what they've used with it.
Did the president just question what... did he actually tell them what to do with the money, or he questioned the manner through which money has been used?
There is due process that is used.
Just as I'm still framing my question.
Yes.
Or did he actually question the rate at which corruption has been devolved, the rate at which we are having spillages at the county level, and on the flip side, they're still asking for more money?
That is a contradiction. This is which is actually a big irony, because when you're talking about what they need to constitutionally be given, one, give them that first. Then when you want to find out whether there is corruption or misuse, there's also organs and processes which can do that, not the president's work. He is supposed to give them what is duly theirs and not accuse them. After they've been given, then you can charge them. And let me tell you not all governors have misappropriated their resources.
That's true.
And you cannot punish them on the context of another one.
No one is punishing anyone.
You understand?
But Hilda, maybe even as you weigh in on what Justice is saying, how come a country that read a budget of over 3 trillion Kenya shillings cannot have both houses of its parliament agree on 9 billion, or differ quite literally over 9 billion?
You know what, Sam? Those two houses, the National and the Senate, to me, my opinion is someone needs to probably have an oversight on it. For instance, in our bill, you know, the Punguza Mizigo 2019 bill, we have recommended that the Senate to be of veto power. So if we have the National Assembly...
It's a very ridiculous proposal.
Well,
Justice,
it's not
be a gentleman.
Fine.
You're attacking Hilda,
I mean,
but
you cannot just attack me about the bill that has had 1.2 million Kenyans supporting it already. So anyway, when we suggest that, or we are recommending that, we see now that we'll have what is it called? Because right now it's the battle of the battles. Probably they want to prove which is the upper house, which is more powerful, which can pass or which cannot. So what we are saying that is that let Senate be of veto power.
What
so
if we
that,
decided? What if we decided to make the role of the Commission on Revenue Authority, you know, more binding than having it at an advisory level as it is as of now? It becomes then the neutral body that in case there's a stalemate, we can look up to a neutral body that can actually give guidance forward.
I don't think Hilda understand what you're asking. When you are talking about the reviewing the functions of the Revenue Allocation Commission and vis-a-vis the oversight role that she is raising some. Oversight role, the functions and roles of every institution in the, are clearly spelled out in the Constitution. National Assembly oversight the national government, Senate and the county assemblies, the county reps. They oversight what? The devolved government. And their roles are spelled out so clearly that we cannot sit here and wonder that somebody again needs to come out and do another oversight. Confusion comes when you want to take and re-engineer these institutions and give them roles that are
in this
within
particular
their
case,
merits.
no one is proposing that the Commission on Revenue Allocation be given oversight roles. According to proposals that were tabled before the BBI task force, is that then, instead of having CRA perform its duties at an advisory level, let's give it more teeth, so that whatever it recommends is more binding. And in case there's a stalemate like that which you're witnessing in the country right now, as far as division of revenue is concerned, then they can be the neutral voice.
Some of these proposals in both quarters, BBI, Punguza Mzigo, some of us refer to them as archaic political relevance that people are seeking with the ideas that are of them. Justice and Freedom Party.
Okay.
I'm a party leader, Justice and Freedom Party. Why I term them that? Because people need to understand the days and the moments we're living in. Yes, constitutional reform or revolution was very relevant in 2010. Very relevant, and was very timely. And it led to formation of even political parties, which came in with promises. And to date, I hate this this idea of lawyers over-marketing themselves to a point that everything that we have, all the problems we have, we think can only be solved by lawyers. The need that Kenyans need today, to me, would not, even if you assess and do proper survey, would not be a constitutional reform. They are not constitutional technicalities. It is governance and economic reforms. These individuals have refused to follow the legal procedure, even the constitutional procedures. So if you even had to give them another constitution from heaven, with the kind of impunity they have. You've seen the same leaders violating Chapter 6, making utterances that are leading to hate. You've seen the same leaders
you make
violating political process.
You make a fair point.
I look at this, let me just finish this.
No.
I look at these outfits as
I write about now, just as we have rules in this show, and we've got to adhere to those rules.
Well,
Hilda.
Yes.
Fair point raised by Justice. That the issue has never been the Constitution. The issue has never been the document. The issue has always been the spirit behind constitutionalism, you know, at the end of the day.
Yes.
What optimism do you have that whether we amend, whether we go for a referendum, that still the issues we appear to face on a day-to-day basis will be resolved?
Thank you, Sam. First of all, let me counter something my colleague here said. First, I want to say that Punguza Mizigo and any other referendum that we are going to go to, it's not political. Referendums are not political. We are not politicizing it. It's a matter of changing the way we do things, just the way he says governance, and all those things as he has mentioned. Very well put. But we are not going to start saying that referendum again is political. No. We are trying to get our country to a better place. We are trying to get governance done in a better way. We are trying to probably seek thieves, corruption, people who have stolen money, corrupt people, maybe pay their due like anybody else. We've seen somebody here, Benson. Benson was arrested one time, put in for no good reason. So, I mean, justice works. Delayed or not, justice sometimes can work.
So you're refuting that it's a political process?
It's a political process. It's not
a political process, or it is a political process?
It is not a political process at all. Referendums are not political at all. And then another thing I would also want to mention about, what did you mention about the
CRA?
What did you ask about
and
it?
Whether or not we should give it more teeth so that their recommendations are not only advisory opinions, but also they are binding legally.
Well, that is a good argument, right? I mean, everybody should be given some teeth to do whatever their job is. Just the way you're saying here we have rules, everybody should be given a reason to do something. I would agree with it, but again, depending on how everything goes, we'll see. Yeah.
Just as now it's your turn.
Exactly. Allow me to make my points. When I say there are political outfits which are using archaic methods or ideas which are of yesterday to make political relevance, because at the end of it all, you will find there are political forces who are driving these outfits. There are individuals, the Punguza is not alone. You'll find the individuals with 2022 interests. You will find the BBI individuals with 2022 interests using constitutional reform as an agenda. That is what I'm saying is archaic in that. To date generation, we've had various changes which have very dynamic areas. The moments when we had to fight the colonialists, and it was very relevant. The moments when we were fighting for democratic space, it was very relevant then. The moment when we were fighting one called the dictatorial government, it was very relevant then. The moment when we needed constitutional reform, it was very relevant then. And in the day and age we are living in, if you plug into the global community frequency and you understand the discussions that are taking place, it's no longer the constitutional discussion. And that's why I'm saying they are outdated political outfits which are seeking for relevance with the wrong things. Because if you look at the content of what they're presenting before Kenyans as agendas that need constitutional reform, they are not answering the questions that Kenya has in the table. When you reduce number of parliaments or representation or devolution, the devolution budget right now is about 10% allocation of the national national annual income. If you reduce that 10% by 1%, of what significance would we have helped the citizen? If you had something that can reduce the 90%, that is the real burden on citizens, then I will listen to you. So when you look at what 16 point...
Wait a minute, you want to tell me...
I listen to you, just listen to me the way I was listening to you.
Saving 1% of 3 trillion.
You needed to protect me the way you protected me.
No, I want to understand.
I want to understand.
Yes. You want to tell me saving 1% of 3 trillion, for you it is neither here or there.
You see, the 1% of 3 trillion, if you look at what you're saving and the side effects of what you've saved, and the benefit of where you are taking the source was bringing into economy, sometimes it beats the logics.
Exactly.
And I can
hold you to that, Justus.
Right.
You say it beats the point.
Yes.
Right? The initial variance, in as far as these figures were concerned, was 9 billion.
Right.
Anyone would therefore ask, what is in 9 billion?
Exactly.
Justus, why use 9 billion to compromise the quality of lives of Kenyans at the end of the day?
9 billion is a politically orchestrated crisis by specific with the political interest. And that's why you see my fingers have not missed. It has gone straight to air, to executive. Using the both Senate houses, divide and conquer, for what again? To create a political crisis, which right now might also be a thriving environment for the agendas they are having on the table that they are giving us.
How would the executive stand to benefit from that?
Well, the moment, why would the executive violate or act on a procedure that has violated the Constitution if they are sworn in to defend the Constitution?
My question is clear.
Right.
If at all the executive is using is dividing both houses of parliament.
And they've done that before, not just today.
Granted, just answer this one question.
Go ahead.
What do they stand to benefit from that?
As it stands, there are various political scenarios that are playing. And all of them, the constant is 2022 election. And the issues that various sides are driving, remember the person who was oversighting the reconciliation of both houses, and some of them have made pronouncement on the sides they're taking. Right now, when you divide the Senate from Assembly, and look at the bills that are being passed, there are certain bills that are setting these outfits. There are certain outfits that have narratives, which is setting the Senate against what? National Assembly. So if you create that existing thriving environment for that idea or the outfit to get a support in a specific house, yes, you would use whatever it takes, even if it is 1 billion, for you to gain it. And that's what they're doing. And then our naive politicians are playing straight into their hands.
Again, let me just go back to the issue here now, Hilda. The mediation team failed, round one. There was some hope in terms of the office of the deputy president, because that is what he's making reference to. Let me make life easier for him.
Yeah, because he keeps on saying politicians and people.
Let me make life easier for him. It was the office of the deputy president that attempted to spearhead mediation still over the same issue. It failed. Ukuri Atani the other day said that Treasury was ready to release half that amount, 155 to the counties, subject to advisory opinion from the Attorney General. That has flopped because the Attorney General advised against it. Now we have a mediation team that was told by Maraga, go do your job.
Yes.
In the event it fails, God forbid, what becomes the fate of county government? What becomes the fate of the quality of lives of Kenyans?
When it fails, then it will be a risky game they are playing with the Kenyan government, with the Kenyan people, and the devolution process. It will be a risky game, putting people in the grassroots level, with no hospital, no schools. I mean, it will be a very dangerous game. Let us hope it doesn't get there. And I'm not going to comment that it's going to get there or not. Let them do their work. Everybody has to do their work.
Which is agree?
Which is agree.
Disagree?
Disagree, but come
or
to
agree
an
to disagree.
Exactly.
All right. Yes, Justice.
They'll all go back to the constitution they violated. And that is where the solution lies. All these political contestations they are having are not leading them or doing them any good. And this is why I caution Kenyans. We must be sensitive. And Kenyans are very informed. And they know what their needs are. When I see hot hair being crafted, whether in 16 points or in 9 points, for purposes of political relevance, I would be very quick to warn Kenyans not to be victims of individuals who do not have a current political relevance, and they keep reinventing archaic ideas for purposes of disturbing and actually interrupting the political, the economic environment, which Kenyans need to concentrate in. I take great concerns when Kenyan elected a president and a deputy. And this is, I think about the second year of their term to serve Kenyans. Even before they can serve Kenya, assess the current economic environment. Look at how it's going. The same person, instead of going down and sorting out the things that are affecting Kenyans, is busy asking Kenyans, you know what, give me another term in 2022. Without something to show you that it is doing.
And right about now, would like to establish photos, or better yet, images that we are getting from Parliament. The mediation team, that lists the Senate team, arrived earlier this morning. The National Assembly counterparts are making way to this particular institution, and it is expected that now, in fact, they are already there, and it is expected that mediation will kick off. What are the issues that will be given priority by these men and women who are expected to give direction to the nation when it comes to the Division of Revenue Bill 2019-2020. Now, this exercise, as we see it in the House this morning, has been orchestrated by a directive given by the Supreme Court, where the Chief Justice David Maraga said as much as the court should and could give an advisory opinion, it will not do that because that is not the work of the judiciary, not until they give Parliament a time to go put their house in order. And of course, a reference made to various articles within the Constitution, 113 to be precise. And now it is a wait and see for the nation in as far as the direction that this particular mediation team will take. It's not the first time this has happened. Just to the reading of the 2019-2020 budget by Cabinet Secretary Treasury, then Henry Rotich, we had a mediation team that was supposed to unlock this particular stalemate. And on the eve of this particular mediation, or this particular budget reading, it failed. So the question is, what is it going to take for this mediation team to succeed? For now, let's listen in.
Chair, and we did it with the other previous. You cannot have a meeting without an agenda. Because if you look at number 4 can come later. There must be even something on mediation. We will say something, so there must be an agenda.
Chair, I think Chair was right. He said he's wrong. The first meeting should be chaired by the Secretariat. We elect a chair. Then we can be able to go to any other business. So I think this agenda is actually right. So if it is chaired by the Secretariat, we elect a chair, and then we proceed to any other business.
First of all, thank you very much.
So do we have another agenda?
Yeah, because the agenda is wrong, because the individual revenue bill is not here.
Yes.
Yes. I think there is something wrong with the agenda, Secretary.
Yes, there is a problem.
Because the agenda is listed as no business, there's only election and nothing else. So this is wrong.
This is wrong.
Yeah, so I need, can we now amend the agenda?
Amend that.
Before we amend,
Yes.
who drew this agenda? No, it's important. Who drew this agenda? We need to know who drew the agenda.
That was drawn by the Secretariat.
Which secretary?
I don't
Because we need to minute this. Everything must be minuted. Who drew? I mean, the question I'm asking, I need to be answered. Who drew the? Because these are staff of Parliament. You can't just say Secretariat drew. But this, I have never seen in my life in Parliament for the 13 years. This kind of an agenda, I have never seen it. Unless somebody wants to control how we think in this region.
Chair, yes, with your permission. Before we start vilifying members of our Secretariat, the way I understand it, leader of majority, this meeting today is for us to elect, actually our substantive agenda for today is to elect the chairman and chairperson. Then from there, when the chair is on, assumes the seat, we can develop the agenda for the next meeting. So I don't think there's anything wrong with the agenda as it is.
No, Wakili, and I'm sure Honorable Mutula Kilozo will agree with me. Let us not let us work on the procedure. When you say our work today was to elect, where a chair and a vice chair, where was that agreed? The Secretariat, our meeting is on, if you allow me, Chair, our meeting is on the mediation of the second division of revenue pay.
Is at the top.
No, if you allow me, relax.
Order.
Relax, I listen to you. So, after we elect, and we have gone to a number of mediation. After we elect the chair and the vice chair, we go to the substantive matter that brought us.
Yes,
If in that process we agree, we meet another date, then we agree, and then we go to AOB. That's how it is. Let us not, raise emotions.
Then we look. Yes, buddy.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I can see some arguments around here. But I think we are not reinventing the wheel. We have had previous meetings of this nature. We know how meetings are conducted. I don't know who the first meeting is supposed to be chaired by the Secretariat, yes? But even in that meeting, we agree on the agenda. because agenda has to be adopted before you start any meeting. I happen to have chaired many meetings. Before you start a meeting, agenda has to be adopted. So if we are saying that we agree with the agenda as it is, then we carry it and then we conduct election, then we have the chair and the vice chair and we proceed. But before that, I think that is what maybe the leader of majority was trying to raise, that in adopting the agenda, we want to add another agenda. Is that the case?
Okay.
So then we can propose to add that agenda.
Can I
It is
hand over
carried,
now to the
then we
secretariat?
proceed now to the agenda.
I will hand over to the secretariat leader, elect the chair.
Establishment of mediation committee. Honorable members has already stated the secretariat, actually the clerk, usually conducts the first conducts the first sitting, facilitates the first sitting on the election of chair and vice chair. And from the concurrence of the secretariat, I'm sitting in with this matter. And I'm drawing your attention to the provisions of the Article 113 of the Constitution. My name is Emi Chekubwa. My name is Emi Chekubwa. Principal Clerk, and from the concurrence with the Secretariat of the National Assembly, I'm sitting in with this particular agenda. And honorable members, I want to take this opportunity to draw your attention to the provisions of the Constitution, Article 113, and the establishment of the membership of mediation, and also the provisions of Standing Order 160 of the Senate Standing Orders, and Standing Order 149 of the Senate Standing Orders. And mention that the speakers of the two houses have constituted this membership as a mediation committee on the Division of Revenue Bill 2019, and therefore I will take this opportunity to give the membership present a chance to introduce themselves. And before they introduce themselves, I also want to mention that the chair, that the Speaker of the National Assembly has temporarily made replacement of membership of the Mediation Committee from the National Assembly, where Honorable Moses Lesonet and Honorable Daniel Maanzo will temporarily replace Honorable Mani Chungwa and Honorable Makali Muli, respectively. I therefore want to give an opportunity to the members to introduce themselves before we go to the, so that we verify that the membership that we have quorum and that the membership is okay before we go into the adoption of the agenda. Thank you.
My name is Sota. My name is Senator Mahmoud, Senator Mandera County, Vice Chair, Budget and Finance.
Lesonet Moses, member of National Assembly, Eldama Ravine constituency, Vice Chair, Budget and Appropriations Committee, National Assembly.
I am Rose Nyamunga, a senator from Kisumu County and a member of Budget and Finance Committee in the Senate.
So we've got the members now who are currently introducing themselves. It's an 18-member team, 9 from the Senate, 9 from the National Assembly. Will they give the country the all-needed answer and solution to the Division of Revenue Bill 2019-2020? Well, we shall cover that story for you in the course